Hi, and welcome to HUR at Home. I'm your host, Angela Stribling, and it is music night. I got to tell you, I've been waiting all week for this. I love Kindred The Family Soul, and we're going to talk to them about their beginnings, how they met, and we've got one half of the family here with us tonight. And I'll take her. I've loved this lady for so long. Her name is Asia, and she is 50% of Kindred The Family Soul. Let's bring her on. Hello, Asia.
Hey,
Hi.
how are
Oh
you
my
doing?
goodness. You know what? I'm doing so well. How are you doing in all this crazy madness?
I'm doing well. Honestly, I have to I always love these online interviews because I wear glasses and no matter what is in front of me, whether it's a light, any kind, it doesn't matter what light is in front of me, it always shines into my glasses. So I'm trying to kind of tilt my head so you don't have to see that, but other than that, I'm feeling fabulous. It's good to be healthy
Yes.
and just to feel loved and surrounded by the folks that I care about and getting a chance to talk with you.
That is so beautiful.
Well, let
You
me
know what,
fix my
Asia? The
afro.
love is real. Listen, I love your hair. This is all, we're
Honey,
all natural. Listen, we're given naturalness.
it does what it wants to do. I'm like, you got to pat it a little bit, I guess. Oh,
I like it. I like it a lot. It's got
thank
all
you.
these, your highlights. James Hart says Asia is so beautiful. I
Thank
agree.
you.
Oh,
um
Jonathan said his birthday was Tuesday. Still celebrating. Happy birthday, Jonathan.
Happy birthday, Jonathan. How are you?
Asia, you know what? I was trying to remember how long we've known each other. And when I was doing some research about you and the team and about the group,
Yeah,
1998 is when you guys got married.
this is when we got married, but I have known you since roughly around, I want to say, probably like 1993 or 4.
I think
So
so.
a long time, over 25, about 25 years.
Yes. And I think the first time I actually met you, you were pregnant and you were on a train heading to Philly, and I was going to New York.
Nope, we met each
That
other way
wasn't the
before
first
that. Yes, the first time I met you, I wasn't married. I wasn't out of high school.
time?
I met you at BET. And I met you, I don't remember the exact day, but I met you at BET and I met you via two people, Elise Perry
Oh, yeah.
and Charlie Jones.
Oh, yeah. And it's so funny. I love them. And they're the ones who put you on my radar because they used to work with you
Yes, when
doing
I
some
was,
good
yes, as a
music.
teenager. Yes, yes,
And then
yes.
they started working with me with my music right
Yes,
after.
yes. I remember how
Yeah.
fabulous your music was.
Oh,
I don't
and
know if these
yours.
people understand what a fantastic vocalist you are. I
Thank
know they
you.
know, but who else, who, if there's anyone out there who doesn't know, you need to get put on and understand what a serious vocalist Angela Stribling is.
Thank you so much. And right back to you. The first time I heard you singing, I think it was Moments in Love, Simply Red cover. Uh,
It might have been. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I can't get. That my memory is good, but it's not that good.
okay. I don't know why I remember all these details, but,
Probably,
I was so
probably.
impressed.
Yes, thank you.
I going back to you and Fatin, and you two were working together. How did you two get together? You were working together and then fell
Mhm.
in love. What? What happened?
Well, I've been doing music for a while, and I don't know if anyone knows my personal history, but I started out as a teenager doing music, and I got a record deal at a very young age, and was kind of got a deal around the same time. It's like the Brandy Monica
Oh,
time period, and I was working on that album, and it never came out. And I
wow.
got older. Yes. I was 14 years old and then I got older. And by the time I was 18, I hadn't put an album out. I was very sad. The industry had not been what I thought it was going to be. And so I'd spent some time on the West Coast, but I came home a little bit with my tail between my legs, truthfully, and so I didn't know what I was going to doing next. And a good friend of mine said, listen, if there was anyone that you wanted to work with at this moment, like, who do you want to work with? And I'd been listening to some Erykah Badu, some of the Roots and stuff like that. And I said, I don't know who's producing this music, but I kind of want to work with them. So she said, listen, I'm just going to send you to New York, see what comes of it. And about a week after I went, I met my husband.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he wasn't my husband then. He wasn't my husband then, but we met each other. We were put together to write songs. And the first time we wrote songs together, that was pretty much it. We became friends, and then we started seeing each other.
Love story. I mean, gosh, that is so delicious. It is wonderful. I mean, this is storybook. You two are.
It was a good time. Yeah, it was a good time.
And now, is it true that Jill Scott is the one who got you your deal with Hidden Beach? Was it Steve?
Well, I mean, that's Steve McKeever, yes. So that's true. It's true and not true. So yeah,
it's true. Story. How did that?
So at the time, her and her husband at the time, Mizell, they were definitely mainstays in the industry at the time. And in Philadelphia, it was like a really hot, spot for, music, live music. And we all kind of were in the same circles. And she did definitely bring us to the attention of Steve McKeever. So in that way, yes, she was very instrumental in making that introduction. And then, the relationship grew and it went on from there. But yeah, most definitely she introduced him to us, and they were definitely saying our praises. And but she was a part of that first wave of folks that really gave us a lot of support. But there were quite a few artists who did, and who kind of helped put us on the radar. So I just want to make sure that I give them their props. NDR was one of those people. Lots of folks spoke us into people's ears and minds.
Yeah, well, listen, as soon as they heard your voices, I'm sure they fell in love. Thank you, Jill Scott, for putting you on Hidden Beach's radar, but you took it from there. I mean, and that
absolutely. She was a really big part of that, but also Lizelle was as well. So I want to give him his props too. They were both
it's freezing a little bit. Okay. Oh, I hate that it's freezing up. I don't know why that's happening. But okay, you're back. Am
I back?
You're back.
Okay, so I have I just great connection, so I'm pretty sure that was just a glitch. Hopefully.
Where are you right now in the house? Are you someplace where the Wi-Fi is a little bit wanky? Because if you have a laptop, you might want to.
It's usually not wanky here. It's usually pretty good. Should I move?
Maybe. If it keeps doing it. I mean, right now it seems to be working out. Let's keep going. Okay. But if it does, then if you don't mind, we'll go with you.
I don't mind at all. I can move and make it happen.
Thank you. So Asia, okay, now what is the name of that? You guys were doing I know you do your Kindred Presents now, but that actually started a little bit back when you guys were doing, what was it, the Upper Room or something like that?
Yes. So we started out
all kinds of amazing artists. I mean, Jaguar Wright, you had all kinds of people who were here.
I want to say, I think Jaguar was on Upper Room. She probably was, because it was such a community at that time, because Jag was probably there. I know Alma was there, Alma Horton, Lady Alma, Jasmine Sullivan, John Legend.
Yes, exactly.
So there were a lot of folks that came through the Upper Room, and the Upper Room was something we did post the Black Lily. So it's like after that happened, and prior to us really kind of getting our album done and, continuing on. But I was very pregnant. I was very pregnant during that time.
Oh. You were very pregnant a few times.
All the time.
How many children do you have? 6?
We have 6 children total, yes.
I love it. I mean, it's one thing to work with your spouse, but you guys are creating all kinds of music, creating people. You've been married for what, 22 years? And
22, yes.
That's love right there. What are your secrets? I mean, I was hoping to ask you both that question, but Fatin and
I'm the
Aziz.
boss anyway, so you got the
Okay,
right
good.
person.
I got the right one.
You got the right one. I mean, I think the secret at the end of the day is that there isn't really one.
Hmm.
That I think it's really about creating your own set of rules, your own constitution, and being open to renegotiating that constitution as much as possible. Because if you're going to be married a long time, you're going to change.
Yeah.
And we got married fairly young. So I think it was important for us to anticipate that those changes would come. But then there's the things you don't anticipate. And so you have to be willing to hear a change in the rules and amend that constitution as the time goes on. And the only way to do that in a somewhat smooth way is to communicate and is to be, compassionate and empathetic to your partner, but also very clear about who you are
Yeah.
and what your boundaries are.
Yeah.
And so, really getting to know yourself is very key because you can get really caught out there if you don't know who you are because you don't know what you need. You don't know what the boundaries are.
It's
And
so
that
true.
can
A
get
lot
very
of people,
muddled.
yeah, a lot of women kind of lose themselves into their
Oh, yeah.
marriage relationship. So what you said, I mean, it's so key to figure out who you are. I mean, a lot of people get
But
married
I've
really
experienced
young.
I've experienced levels of that as well. Just because I've been I've been a mother of 6 times. We've been through all kinds of changes. So there's not a there's a not a part of that that I don't understand.
Yeah,
I started this journey when I was 20, and now I'm 42.
yeah,
So, I mean, come on, we all know there's no way I could experience our lives this way, that way, with that much time, and
yeah.
I not lose a little bit and have to kind of rediscover and
And that's the
circle
key,
back.
rediscovering and saying, wait a minute, I'm going to need this part of
Yeah.
me back and bring this back. I love the comments. We have Odessa said, hello, everyone. Oh, Donald is laughing at because I said wanky. He goes, wanky? Donald is laughing at us. Okay, probably me. Monica, that's a great response. Talking about the Constitution of Marriage. Love that. And oh, thank you. Love how I'm listening to people. That's really nice. That's everything. What I've learned and noticed about you and Fatin is that you seem to be best friends. I mean, whenever I see you, you two are so supportive of each other, publicly, privately. You're just, the love is right there and it's real.
Oh, we have a lot of fun doing what we do. We're really grateful to be able to have the type of job where we can go there every day and enjoy not only each other's company, but what we're doing.
Yeah.
And when you're doing something that brings you so much personal joy, and then you get to share that with your person, not that it's not without challenges, but it is certainly a thing that has brought us closer. I think in the beginning, there was a thought that it would be something that would come in between us, but it's actually really something that's really made us a lot stronger. It's funny, the best friend thing. Like, yes, we're connected at a very deep level that mixes and fuses friendship and partnership and parenthood and business and all of
You're
these
right.
things. But I do think it's important to have really strong friendships with women.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a woman, and I need to have my girlfriends. I need to have my besties, and woman energy and your woman circle is just really important to me. My husband knows. He knows I have like the Cackle House, and I can't do without them. They are really a big part of my life. So
The
as my
Cackle
husband,
House.
yes,
I like that.
the House of Cackle, honey, yes.
You have to have a Cackle House.
You gotta have a Cackle House. What you gonna do?
But it's
But
so true. I mean, especially you're spending so much time together. You need to
right,
have other experiences to even be
right.
interesting to each other.
Yes. And everything we're not going to run by each other right away. I mean, I think for some couples that may really work for them, but there's sometimes where you have to work through your feelings and speak through your stuff. And nowadays it's a lot less uncommon for people to be in therapy.
Yeah.
And so what you do in therapy is you're just talking through your stuff. You're like, okay, I just need to, be verbal about what's going on. And for me, it's been a great help to be able to just kind of like, blah, get my mind together and go, okay, babe, let's talk.
Right, get it all out.
Right.
Then when you're...
Because you're going to say something ignorant if you don't take a minute.
Right. Listen, I learned a long time ago, stimulus, pause, response.
Ma'am.
Because if you don't have that pause, anything can happen. It's like,
girl.
And especially, I have a very quick mouth. It probably gonna hurt a little bit. So I need to just take
a moment. And it's nothing, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's life.
Yeah.
These are people. You have to make room for people, and we're not going to be perfect. Yeah. We're not going to know the right thing to say all the time. It's just not possible.
It's not, and this is the person you love. I mean, in a relationship,
right?
You don't want to hurt them. You want to speak your piece, but you don't want to, you don't want to rip them.
I think when it comes from a genuine place about, from your heart, you really speak your feelings. I think a lot of us are just not taught to speak our feelings.
Yeah.
We might know how to speak anger or frustration, but we may not know what's at the heart, some other good feeling words like, I don't know, anxiousness or fear or, or abandonment or anxiety, whatever, all these, all those things. So yeah, anxiety, exactly. That was the right word. But yeah, you just don't really get an opportunity to learn the language or experiment with language that helps your partner to understand how you feel. And if you practice doing that, you are rarely going to find yourself in a situation where they just don't understand you. They may have to sit with it, but
but they're going to understand.
But they're going to understand, they're not going to be confused. You know what I mean?
I love it. And thank you for just being so open and transparent. I love that so much. When it comes to songwriting, how much of Kindred, the Family Soul, how much of your relationship with Fatin are we hearing in your music?
Oh, all of it. All of it. We talk about our relationship all the time. In fact, times when we had people accuse us of being, way too optimistic and it's all lovely, we always laugh to each other because those are people who don't listen to the whole album. Because if they had listened to the whole album, they wouldn't say that because the music is very transparent. And it's as transparent as I'm being in this moment because that's just how we've been all this time. I obviously you're not gonna know every single nook and cranny of the relationship, but the music is us. It's based on our lives. It's based on our experiences together. It's us.
Yeah, I love that. And your process of writing songs together, I would love to know how that goes. You're both strong personalities. You're both great writers. You're both artists. You two are writing a song together. And what if it's a song you're not agreeing on it? He might write something and you're like, well, babe, I don't know. I mean,
Listen, what did Erykah Badu say? I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's the same thing. Just because you're married doesn't mean you're less sensitive about your art. So, there've been a couple of ideas that was like, and we both had to, put our big girl and big boy draws on and, take the critique and move forward, and sometimes it just gels. Bam. An idea comes and it's like, oh, I got something for that. And we're bouncing back and forth. And then sometimes there's one person that takes the lead and they're like, and we're there saying, oh yeah, that's a fabulous idea. Run with that. So there's been times when he's written the majority of the tune. There's been times when I've written the majority of the tune. There's times when we've done tunes alone. It's just about, and our collaboration just happens so many different ways. But it's just about keeping the flow of energy open and being open for critique. And that can feel easy some days, and some days it's not easy. Just all depends on how sensitive an artist you're being in that moment. But it's all for the best, because the thinking is put the best thing forward.
Yeah. And it's wonderful to have a writing partner. And this is a writing partner that you know and love.
Right. And respect.
And respect. Actually, that one first.
Right. Because this is,
as writers.
Because in a workspace, you have to respect that person's ability to do what they're doing. And
so key, because otherwise, that is so true. Otherwise, that person will come up with an idea. And if you're already feeling like, look, most of your ideas are trash, so we're going to go with what I'm writing.
Trust me, let me tell you something. I don't want to work with no trash writer. So we might not even came together for all that. Trust me when I tell you, this combo right here is one that's based in, mutual respect for gifts, which we realize makes us very, fortunate.
Yeah.
And
because you wouldn't be as successful as you are. And, you've been working together for over 20 years.
Right.
And right. I mean, and the formula is there. And I love the fact that, it's the back and forth. Like you said, you'll, be the majority writer sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes he will. You never know when these inspirations are going to come.
Right.
So I love it. And being in this business for this long, when you started, it was a whole different ball game than now. So
yes.
Talk about that a little bit, and how Kindred the Family Soul, would you say better now or better then? Or if you'd even judge it like that?
Can I just say, it is so refreshing to interview with somebody who is so good at it.
Thank you.
And you're making this really awesome. So
as are you.
Thank you. As far as the past, Fatina and I both got started when we were teenagers. And so we're talking about, we've seen an industry go through multiple changes just in our own individual lives. And so we're looking at remembering when they had the big, huge budgets and the,
artist development and Black music departments and, bonuses when you sign.
Yes. And then we saw it transition into a lot of independent labels, particularly through the rap game. But then we start seeing that happen in our genre as well. And then we saw obviously things change over from, from the CD culture into the digital culture. And all of that, right? And really the breakdown of some of the huge systems in this business. So the record labels and radio and and the role of all these things in how people get music. And now you have streaming, of course. So now we've gotten through the entire kind of gambit in a very short, well, not really a short period of time. It's been, as Abraham Lincoln says, a score. So
a score. It has been a score.
It has been a score. So we've seen all the changes with that being said. And for us, I think we were lucky because when we came into this business as a group, we had an extreme amount of creative say over what we were doing. And as the industry began to kind of change and shift, that control just got bigger and bigger. So though we did yearn at that time, for more access to money and resources, particularly to make records, we reveled in the opportunity to learn the business, and we jumped at it very early on. So when certain changes came, they didn't hit us in the same ways because we just jumped into that very early. We produced our own videos. By the time you guys saw a video for Stars, that video was filmed in my home. I'm sitting in that home now.
Wow. I did
Yes.
not. And oh my God, that's when I fell in love with your music. Stars, I still love it. I still play it. Oh my
Thank
God.
you. And
Yes.
so we produced and put together that video ourselves. So we got started very early on understanding how to be independent artists, even though we were signed to a label.
And
And
you're so lucky that you had that much creative control because a lot of
yes.
artists did not.
And another thing that we benefited from was, and so we're just around for so many reasons. God has just been so good and protected us in so many ways. But another thing that we benefited from as well was that when a lot of our contemporaries wanted to be on urban radio, and for those of you who watching don't understand what that means, that just basically means hip hop, R&B, mainstream radio. At that time, that really wasn't an option for us, budgetary from a budget standpoint, and just
Mm,
because of the nature of our music. So we were on adult contemporary radio, which at that time was, of course, oldies and a few new songs, and we became the few new songs. The life that our record had on that format allowed us to stay on radio
thank
so
God.
much longer than our contemporaries were. They had to come with a new single, boom, boom,
Right.
boom, 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 and it allowed us to tour with everybody. I mean, we toured with everyone from Music Soul Child to the OJs. I mean,
I
well,
love
not
that.
toured, but we did shows with.
Yeah.
Right. So we performed with a wide range of
Mm,
artists. So where some people had to put together large tours, we didn't.
yeah.
So we were able to just bounce around and do a lot, had a lot of flexibility. And just so I don't get too long winded, I just want to say, in terms of the age of social media, again, my husband was a visionary in this way, and he jumped on places like MySpace and Facebook before it became a space.
MySpace. Wow.
Yes, before it became a thing for artists to be there, particularly artists who were signed to major labels. Because
Mhm.
remember, the labels back then were doing the marketing.
Exactly.
They were doing all
The
the
whole
work.
machine was
There
behind
was a
you.
machine behind it. Well, he kind of saw the future, and he was early to both of those platforms. So by the time a lot of our contemporaries got to Facebook and then Instagram, well, then Twitter and then Instagram, we were
Mhm.
already there.
You were there.
We
Yeah.
were already there. And so it's benefited us, and we're still
Yeah.
an underground niche type of group, and that's fine. But we have a very dedicated and beautiful, beautiful audience of people.
Oh, people
Woo!
love Kindred the Family Soul. I mean, I can't wait to bring you on stage again. I
Oh, I
miss
can't
your
wait to.
performances. I know, I'm sure you miss it. I know every artist,
Yeah,
who's sitting at home, is
yeah.
just kind of waiting.
Hmm.
I love also Kindred Presents. Talk a little bit about that. I mean, you're giving a lot of established artists an opportunity to, similar to what we're doing on this platform, where they get to perform a little bit. And
Uh-huh.
if you feel like singing, I would love for you to sing a little bit later on. But
Okay.
you're giving people a platform to talk about who they are. We're learning all kinds of things. So talk about that. How did that? I mean, I guess the Upper Room was the I guess
Well,
original to
we've
that.
we've always thought of things from a community place. Because that's how we got put on, was from community.
Mhm.
Even early on when we would get on panels and things like that, people would say, what advice do you have for new artists? And we would always say your best resource is to your left and your right, not above you, because it is your community around you that's going to strengthen you. Those are the next executives. Those are the next
Oh,
video
for
directors.
sure. So,
Those are the next, hits. Those are the hits. And
yeah.
so, with that being the case, we always had a very community minded approach to how we did things. So as we expanded away from ourselves, things always kind of function like that. So when we did a live venue like the Upper Room, it's like, well, let's bring everybody on.
Love it.
So as we began to think about how we would do something like media, we realized that Black music was getting to the point where we had no Arsenio Hall. That was
Well, it was
gone.
fun while that lasted.
Yeah, there was no late night talk show kind of format where artists can perform their new music. But then also, too, there wasn't a lot to celebrate our legends. There wasn't
Mhm.
a lot to hear them talk. And in the meantime, when we started Kindred Presents, Unsung had not happened yet. But then Unsung became something, and we understood even more how needed that platform was.
Oh, yeah.
So even though we technically preceded that, it really gave us even more inspiration to start this show. So just so you know, Kindred Presents, the format is is an extensive interview as well as a live performance, a short live performance. And we tried to fuse together the Tonight Show and Inside Actor Studio. And
Yeah, exactly. That's
yeah,
exactly what comes to mind when you're watching. And
right.
I love, oh, the comment section. I'm sorry, we've not been acknowledging you. Odessa, when a person is trying to get into the music business, should they get an agent first? Her daughter wants to be a singer, and she was performing a lot before the pandemic started. She's made a name for herself. So basically, what do you think? Should they get an agent? What do you think?
I don't think you should get an agent. And the reason why I don't think you should get an agent is because again, like I said, so much of this work is about building community. Now, when we got started, that was the early 2000s. So building community looked like performing in a club every week with your friends and hanging out at the studio with your friends. In the midst of the pandemic and the digital age and the social media age, building community looks a whole lot different. And so she's going to have to kind of look at her contemporaries and create community with them who are artists who she likes, who are local, who she has access to, and people who she can build with, who she can collaborate with. My son is an artist right now, and a big thing with young people, young artists now, is collaborations. Collaboration is a big part of building community in a digital and social media age.
I
So
love
that's
that. You've got your following, their following. Already you're bigger. You're
right.
instantly bigger. That's beautiful. Isabella says hello from Dubai.
Hello. Yes, Dubai.
We love Isabella.
Okay.
Um, Monica, Angela, this is real. I love the honest exchange. So do I. I just love you, Asia.
I love you back.
I hinted a little bit earlier that if you felt like singing, we'd be honored. Whatever you want to sing and give us, we would love that. I oftentimes ask artists to leave us with something inspirational or just whatever they're feeling, whatever you want to give us.
Uh, I mean, since I sing the first verse, I guess I can give you guys a little bit of what would be considered a Kendrick classic, if you're down with that.
We're down with whatever.
It's a little late at night. Whoo, child, Lordy B. And she hasn't been on stage in a while because this has been
Awesome. We'll
she's
take
been
Rusty. We
she's
love
been
your Rusty.
quarantined, darling. Okay. So many times you could have walked away, but I didn't have to say a word to convince you to stay. 'Cause you know and I know this thing is real. So we continue to learn, and our love grows deeper still. Each day I watch you get better at this. Each moment I'm more and more convinced. We trusted love, we took the risk. We ran our own pace. We won our race, and I could never turn away. We've come so far. The stars look up at you, baby.
Oh my goodness. What? I heard no rust anywhere. Oh, that
It's
was
so raggedy, but
beautiful, Asia.
life
Thank
is
you.
real. The raggles
Oh
and the
my
scraggles
goodness.
are
You're
the
just
raggles and
blessed
scraggles
to
are
bring
real.
that. Thank you. See, I mean, the comments are going crazy. Everyone is saying, this is my song. Love your song, Far Away. What about being a backup singer? Oh, that was something else. Howard University. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
Oh, thank
Beautiful.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Odessa, I guess to her daughter's point, her
Mhm.
daughter who is out there, do you think being a backup singer, does that help them get started?
Yeah.
Of course, I think so.
Yes, I do. I think a lot of your favorite singers have made their way to the front of the stage through singing support vocals, background vocals. I mean, yes, 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 and more yes.
Yes, 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 and more yes. All right, you've got a few more beautiful voices. Schwander Strickland said, beautiful voice. Hi, hi, Reese, how are you? Reese is always one of our loyal viewers, and we really appreciate it, just like Isabella from Dubai. Jonathan, you have a beautiful voice, Asia.
Oh, thank you so
Melody says,
much.
lovely. Luana, thanks for sharing, beautiful lady. Thank you so
Oh,
much,
thank you
Asia.
guys.
We love you. Tell Fatin we missed him, but we're so happy that
Yes. And
the
it's crazy. He never even gets sick. So it's such a weird thing, but he didn't want to change this night.
I
And
appreciate
I'm
that.
really grateful that we had an opportunity that I got a chance to talk to you tonight.
I am
I
so
think that you
happy.
are beautiful. And just so people know that Angela Striblin is the same person off camera, off radio, off media. She's just the same sweet, kind, loving, and just supportive person. And I just love when beautiful people are also beautiful people, you
Thank
know?
you so much. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Isabella says, love your voice. I'm with you, Isabella.
Thank
Monica
you.
said, so glad you featured her tonight. She needed this. I think we all
Oh,
did. You've
I'm
really blessed us
glad.
tonight, Asia.
Oh, you blessed me.
Continued blessings. Please give our love to Fatin. I
I
hope
will.
he feels better soon. And thanks
Yeah.
for keeping the date. Really
Oh,
appreciate
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. We'll be back if you'll have us together
Oh, we'll
another
have you.
time.
Oh, we'll definitely have you. Oh, and
Great.
before you leave, we talked about social media. Just
Mhm.
tell everyone how they can connect with you.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Kindred the wife on
I love
Twitter.
that.
Right. I'm Kindred the wife on Twitter and Instagram. And my husband is Kindred the Fam. So that's just short for Kindred the Family Soul. He's that on Instagram and Twitter. We have a page on Facebook, Kindred the Family Soul. And you can check out all things Kindred the Family Soul at kindredthefamilysoul.com. That's where you really need to go.
And YouTube. How about that?
Oh, yes, our YouTube channel as well. You'll find a ton of content. So if you really want to get an opportunity to watch any of the episodes we talked about, Kindred Presents. So if you want to watch any of the episodes of Kindred Presents, they're all on our YouTube channel. And you can also go to our website. And if you go to media on our website, there's a little surprise where you get to watch our we get to watch all of our content in a special kind of way. So if you want to go and check it out, you can go look at it.
Media. I'm doing it.
Media. Yeah, I love it. See,
I love it.
you got the keyword there, sis. That's what I'm talking about. But
I'm
yeah,
going to media. I love
yeah,
it.
we've done a lot of stuff. So we've done mini docs, we've done a docu-series, we've done obviously Kendra Presents for 4 years. We've had over I want to say it's probably close to 100 guests. So we've had tons of guests. So I guarantee you'll find an artist who you love in somewhere in there.
I love it. I mean, and many of us are still social distancing at home. I guarantee you, you go to her site, you check out all of that. That's good entertainment.
And the music, of course. So we
Of
have
course,
six
the music.
six albums full of music. I'm sure you missed one. Go check out all that.
I love it. Makes for good stocking stuffers.
It does.
I love it. All right. Darlene said she's going to go do that right now. Everybody go do that. Thank you all for being here with us, being here with Kindred the Family Soul. Thank you, Asia.
Thank you.
Love you so much. And we'll see you again really soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.